Brought to you by GTA, your island, your network.
In a letter to GMH Administrator Peter John Camacho, the Joint Commission writes that substantial evidence exists to support the denial. GMH was first put on notice last August, and after a follow-up inspection in January, the Commission issued a preliminary denial and now a permanent revocation. GMH has not released copies of the report, but Board Vice Chair Lillian Posada says they cited a wide range of deficiencies.
There were many. Some were facilities and structural, some were processes, such as performance improvement, activities and engagement with all the staff.
Posada says the citations were a mix of management and financial issues with a lot of overlap. Meanwhile, Governor Calvo says it's not a management problem, it's a funding problem that plagues GMH, and he blames senators for repealing the sales tax.
We finally saw that light at the end of the tunnel with 0.75% of the sales tax going to the hospital, but that light has just been extinguished. So I'm going to have to sit down, work with my fiscal team, work with the senators to see what we can do.
Board Vice Chair Posadas, a former longtime nurse, says the hospital existed for years without accreditation and can do so now. But a lack of accreditation has an indirect effect on financing such as grants and a direct effect on recruitment of quality medical personnel.
Physicians want to come to practice in a facility, a hospital that is joint accredited. It gives us that leverage for the recruitment of doctors, recruitment of nurses.
On top of the loss of accreditation, the hospital also faces the possible exclusion from the federal Medicare and Medicaid program and millions of dollars in reimbursements. But Calvo has no plans to declare an emergency that would free up $250,000 a month in extra funding. It's too little, too late.
We're $30 million shortfall. I go back to simple math. And while the senators are there counting their fingers, both legs have been chopped off.
The governor says instead he wants senators to focus on a long-term permanent fix, a dedicated funding source, which he's been pushing for years now.
We've had numerous governors for 40-some years. And I can go back to the first governor, Calvo, and the first headline where vendors were going to cut payments to the hospital. It's always been a funding shortfall.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Brought to you by GTA, your island, your network.